Hi ladies. Okay, I'm bringing you the update at 33 weeks. I'm happy to make these videos. I love to share the end of my pregnancy just because I'm so excited for it to be over. Okay, so I'm going into week 33 right now. I'm in 33 weeks. So I wanted to share my symptoms. I just wanted to share a little bit of my journey with you guys. The end is always so, when you feel so close, but you feel so far away just because you're so uncomfortable. I kind of wanted to share with you guys some of the symptoms I've had, just so you guys can see if you can relate, gauge it with your pregnancy or your past pregnancy, or if you're looking to get pregnant, or if you're a little bit further behind than me. One of the main things that I've struggled with in my third trimester, which has been better this week, so you guys know everything always changes, is pregnancy insomnia. This is something that has gotten me with all of my babies. This is my fourth baby. And I tend to really start losing sleep at the end. Not all moms get this. I do. I end up waking up at like 1, 2, or 3. And sometimes I have to stay up for about 2 hours. I hate it. It's the worst. So sometimes I'll go down and I'll get some milk and I'll make a little like peanut butter sandwich or something like that, just to like try to bring some cortisol down so I can like go back to sleep. It does work. So that's a little tip that I have. Sometimes I will go down and I will get something to eat just to kind of bring some of those chemicals down and that serotonin, and I can sleep a little bit better. So my hunger has totally changed as well. That's another thing I'm experiencing that I just kind of had last night. You guys know pregnancy hunger is kind of very different than like a hunger that you have in real life. One of the things that I've noticed that's different with pregnancy hunger is, first of all, the way you look at food is completely different, because for me, everything that I look at is I'm like, how am I going to feel after I eat this? And in general, as a human being, we go through life of like, oh, that's good. That tastes good. Or I feel like eating this right now. It's like when you're pregnant, like your mind goes into a whole other place of like, how is that going to affect me an hour after I eat it? So I'm very conscious about what I eat, when I'm pregnant, and how it's going to make me feel, if I'm going to have energy from it, or if I'm going to end up with heartburn, or if I'm going to feel like I'm like exploding and splitting apart at the seams. So, but when you do get pregnant, when you're pregnant and you do get hungry, the hunger is on another level. It's almost like a very deep hunger. That's the way I describe it, is it's like, it's almost painful. It's a very deep hunger. I get it right here because I think the baby is like putting on weight as fast as it can at that last trimester, and it just picks up as it goes. I have felt the hunger pangs of that. Last night at like 8 o'clock, I was kind of, after I put my kids to bed, I was having some me time, just me, and I was reading and catching up on some stuff, and I literally had this deep hunger that came over me, and it was like I had to go down to the cupboard. And I know my husband was sitting there thinking like, she's in the kitchen eating right now and it's 9 o'clock at night. So, which is very out of character for me. But like I said, I just had that really deep hunger last night. So that's another news. Okay, so another symptom I'm having is she moved clear back up here again. So she's like right here on my ribs. I basically am having that shortness of breath again. Just that pressure. When she's really high up like this, it affects how I eat. I have to eat very small meals frequently. And then I have now that really deep hunger. So I get so frustrated because I'm like, oh, I feel like I can't eat. Your appetite changes, but you have this really deep hunger. So it's kind of, this is just a really uncomfortable stage. I mean, that is just the blatant facts. So last week I made a post, and the post was that she dropped down. You guys, I was eating like a normal person again. I felt so much better after meals and stuff like that, and I could feel her on my bladder. And she's down there. She's nowhere near my bladder again. So I felt no movement near my bladder because she came back up. So, we'll see. That's one of the other symptoms I'm having. Okay, so the waddle has officially started. I don't know if you guys waddle through your pregnancies. I absolutely do. And I don't know if it's just because my torso is like this long in real life. So then when there's a baby on there, like I'm waddling 100% for sure. Some days it's worse than others, and that depends on my back pain. So I do personally get backaches when I'm pregnant. Actually, this is my 4th baby, like I shared with you guys before, and this is the least amount of back pain I've ever had. So, and I just attribute that to just my exercise routines and stuff like that, and, you know, just healing from my C-sections. I've had all C-sections. So to me, the place where my back hurts is an incision. It's front-wise, it's where my incision is. So to me, they correlate just because, you know, they're cutting through your muscles when you get in a C-section. And, you know, my babies are pretty close together, you guys. They're mostly 2 years apart. And this one is only going to be 19 months apart, not even a full 2 years. But this is the least amount of pain I've had in my back. But like I said, to me, my back pain is associated with previous C-sections, just because I think it's a strength thing. I don't know that for sure. My doctor has never really said. She said back pain's really common in pregnancy. And I'm 35, but like I said, this is actually the least amount of back pain I've had, but I do have it. So some days when my back really hurts, and it could be from my bed too, because my bed is super soft, and so I feel like I kind of like sink down into my bed. So I need a new mattress too. So there's multiple things that it could be. At the same time, my doctor's like, a lot of women struggle with back pain and they need a stronger, you know, they need stronger muscles back there. So keep exercising. So that's one of the things that makes my waddle, like I walk like this, and that's depending on how my back, what kind of shape my back is in, you guys. Some days I feel nothing in my back, and I think it's just because I have super little kids too. And so there was one time that I hurt my back when I was picking up my 18-month-old. So my hands are really full, and yes, sometimes, girl, it gets me down in the back. Okay, so my last pregnancy symptom I'm going to share with you guys that I've had, especially in my 3rd trimester, is my face kind of swells. It's nothing that I need to be worried about. My ankles don't swell, my hands don't swell. For some reason, my face does. My nose gets a little bit bigger, and so do my lips. And obviously just the roundness of my face. I'm much more rounded. I'm trying to think, with this pregnancy, I've put on about 35 pounds, which is really normal for me with most of my babies. With my first baby, I only gained, I think it was like 15 pounds, but I was also a heavier person way back then. So now this pregnancy, it's about 30 to 35 pounds. And I'm sure it will kind of stay around there just because that's how it's been with most of my babies. So, that's kind of where I'm at. And like I said, my face just gets a little bit rounder. My nose gets a little bit bigger, and so do my lips. So, that is my week 33 update. Ladies, subscribe. Make sure you're following my channel. I share tons of lifestyle hacks, tips, and honestly, I just take you along with the journey. So thank you guys so much for watching. Bye, babes.